a warning to you people that have neighbors, okay? When you make this, the oozy gooey smell will go approximately 670 yards. And when you make it, your neighbors are gonna come over and they're gonna say, "You got that oozy gooey bread, I need some."
You got that oozy gooey bread? What's going on?
You get oozy gooey bread, you get coffee.
Isn't this illegal in most states?
I know. I didn't say you were gonna feel good about it. I just said it's good. That's all I'm saying.
That's unbelievable.
You can eat it over the break so nobody knows.
Okay.
Please, you need a snack. You're all too skinny on that show.
Look at me, I'm putting my napkin.
I know, because you're so ladylike. Coffee, cream, sugar. See, it's just like Wisteria Lane, isn't it?
I know, it is. Who did you kill lately?
I haven't been shot, and I haven't killed anybody lately.
Well, then you shouldn't be on the show. Anyway,
I know, right? Well, you know, I guess we could start out on Wisteria Lane. I love the hysteria on the Wisteria. It's a great show. I mean, it really is. I'm gonna be really lousy at my job if I don't get something out of you. You gotta give us something behind the scenes. You gotta give us something that hasn't aired yet. You gotta give us some kind of dish on the lane.
I would, but then I'd have to kill you. And it's a state secret. Actually, you guys know more than we do. I just did a different talk show, not nearly as fun or good as this one. And they said, "So I understand a wedding's coming up." And I said, "Really?" So I guess a wedding's coming up, but that's all I know. Honestly, we find out usually 2 days before.
They don't trust you, in other words.
They don't, because people like you sit us down and ply us with oozy bread, and we spill our secrets.
We do have the best food. We always look out to bribe people with food.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
I cooked an oozy, gooey, fattening, disgusting thing, and I ain't gonna get nothing for it, huh? Not a thing.
I can't tell you. And also, actually, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm the blonde on the show. What do you want? I don't know anything.
Oh, please. Actually, you give blondes a great name. You're very, very talented. I love her, and I love her husband, too, Bill Macy. Fantastic.
Really great.
And we here want to know, what do you guys do with all of those awards? I mean, you've got Golden Globe, Emmy, SAG, then you got all Bill's awards. I mean, what do you do with them? Do you have like a rotating mantle that works like a cuckoo clock system or something? Where do you guys keep
We have an enormous lazy Susan on the middle.
Just like the one we have here for the people.
There you go.
Seriously, where do you put them all? Some people put them in their bathrooms, some people put them as bookends. I mean, where do you put them all?
We kind of stash them around. Some are down in my office, and some are in our library, and some are up in his office.
But they are out there.
They are out there, actually.
You're gonna have to buy a bigger house soon.
You know, doctors put up their diplomas and do that kind of thing, and actors usually don't have diplomas, so we put up awards.
You're gonna have to get a bigger house soon, because you guys are just too talented. I'm sorry. So, you know, I always think that you're one of the best dressed people at all of the awards things, too, I have to say.
Really?
You look fantastic, and you have really good taste in clothing. You know, it's never too showy. It's always.
Can I tell you, I forgot the outfit that I was supposed to wear on your show. I completely forgot it, and they said 10 minutes, and I went and I looked, and I didn't have it. So my makeup artist, Gita Bass, is back in the dressing room in her underwear, and I am wearing
her pants?
Her pants and her shirt. Thanks, Gita. Now we'll go on to Best Dressed. There are naked people backstage all over.
Forget what I just said. Obviously, it's all about the stylist. You're not picking anything. But I happen to think that women dress for other women. Does Bill help you pick out the dresses, or you dress yourself?
Well, I have a wonderful woman named Linda Medvine, and she does come over with racks and racks and racks of clothes, which is really fun, because you get to shop in your own home, and you don't have to look at your body in those mirrors at the store.
With the bad lighting?
Oh,
I haven't tried on anything in 10 years.
Yeah, I know. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
But Bill does have has an opinion. He comes in and he goes, no, I like those things that are backless and are loose here and tight there, and he has a definite opinion.
That's awesome. Well, he's doing a great job. Tell him.
Tell
him a great job. So we're going to keep her at our kitchen table because she's our neighbor for the day. We'll be right back with more Felicity. Coming at you, Felicity's revealing the secrets to being the perfect boyfriend.
If you're funny or charming or really listen to us, you're in for a hell of a night.
The future of the restaurant is at stake. It is time to get creative.
Well, I do have one option, but it would require some sacrifice.
Well, whatever it is going to take.
You could help me.
What? No. Look, I'm wearing makeup. I am holding a briefcase. What does this suggest to you?
You could call in sick.
I can't call in sick after 8 weeks of sick leave, especially when I've been fined for 3 of them.
So our neighbor for the day from Desperate Housewives, of course, is Felicity Huffman. We're just chit-chatting over the bacon and oozy bread at the table. And I was joking over the break. I was telling her, yeah, you guys are going to have this pizzeria now. Who's going to eat all of that pizza? You people are too skinny. There's nobody there. I mean, and there's only so many slices that poor Mrs. McCluskey can get down.
It'll go bankrupt. It'll go out of business.
It'll go completely bankrupt.
Well, the housewives are so skinny. No, I don't know what's going to... I think actually it's going to flourish.
Yeah.
The pizzeria. I think it's going to flourish.
Of course. Okay, well, that's something. Yeah. She says she doesn't really know until 2 days before.
Oh, that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Do you cook it all at home?
I do cook. You know, we have 2 small kids, so it's kind of kid meals. You know, it's a lot of pasta and hot dogs and that kind of stuff.
Chicken
tenders. Can you call that cooking?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. You would.
I definitely would call it cooking. I've made an entire career out of it, as a matter of fact. For burgers, pasta. So I hope you can call it cooking, because it's all I know. Now, let's talk about what you're adding to your list now.
Okay.
Now, she's an author, too. And your co-author, Patricia, do they call you Patty or Patricia?
Patty.
Patty's right here in our front row, Patty Wolff. And Felicity wrote this cool thing here. It's a very long title, so I have to read it. A practical handbook for the boyfriend, for every guy who wants to be one, for every girl who wants to build one. And I have to say, I had trouble getting this out of my husband's hands. I kept having to fight him for it. That's how much he enjoyed reading this.
I'm so glad.
And I said, what are you, a boyfriend still to somebody?
Don't you want your husband to still be a boyfriend? Don't you want him to be attentive?
True.
Don't you want him to still hold your hand? Don't you want him still to be excited to see you at the end of the day?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I had so much fun with it. I actually earmarked all of the things that I thought, oh, that's a good one, and that's a good one. There's a lot of really, I mean, this isn't like, you know, one of those spoof books that's just a joke. There is actual practical information in here.
Yeah, we kept going back as Patty and I were writing it, going, is that practical? We want it to be simple and practical, but true.
I mean, it is. I really liked, you know, how do you get a lady all worked up, you know? It starts in the head. I mean, the #1 zone for any chick is here in your brain.
Yeah, how you talk to us. That really gets us going. If you're funny or charming or really listen to us, you're in for a hell of a night.
Number 2 and 3, fellas, were earlobes and then your neck, just so you know when you go home tonight. I mean, what do you think's the best advice in this book? There's a ton of really great stuff that I loved. Do you have a favorite section?
Well, yeah, I have some favorite sections. I love the phone section. There's a whole chapter on the phone, and there's a whole chapter in the car. I mean, some little tidbits I love are, you know, men like the house cold, and women like it warm. So if you turn up the thermostat, you have a better chance of seeing her naked. I think that's some practical advice.
I mean, that is small, practical, huge advice. I really loved the cheap date suggestions. A lot of great ideas for very inexpensive, very romantic dates. This is essential for every man, married or boyfriend. The gift-giving information in this book will save you guys. It will save you.
It's really true.
It's fantastic.
Those things not to do, like we do give a list of things, presents not to get, like you don't want to get a membership at Costco, and you don't want to do...
Or anything that says you're not perfect. You know, no memberships to like Weight Watchers, a gym, Jenny Craig, any junk like that.
Yeah. Boob-shaped candles, those aren't very good. Cash. Although we did say, you know, if it's over $5 grand, we'll take it.
So, Patty, we're having a lot of fun just chit-chatting about what's in here. How did the book start? How did the two of you put it together to begin with?
Well, Felicity and I were, it was 6 years ago, it was a while ago. Felicity had just had her first baby, so she was home being a mom, and I wasn't working, and we were feeling like losers, actually, and that we would never have careers again. So we needed a project. It started as a lark for us, and it was sort of we actually wrote down that conversation girlfriends always have, for us, over 20 years. What about this boyfriend? What about this thing? And you know, it's interesting because I'm sure every woman in this audience who has a best friend has had this conversation with them, and that book is in their head, you know, their version of it.
It really
So that's
is.
how it came about.
I mean, and Felicity was saying the same thing, you know, a few minutes ago, that any group of women could have written this.
Yeah,
right?
what 10 chapters would you put in, you know? What would be important to you? But it's not sort of lining guys out. It's not just, you know, straighten up and fly right. It's also, look, we can be confusing, we can be baffling. The first chapter is all women are crazy. So, so we do address that. It's a tongue-in-cheek guide. I mean, we did it as a laugh until we had the deadline, and then it wasn't so funny. We did it as a laugh, and it's funny, and yet, you know, it's true for us. We're certainly not experts. Like we said, any 2 or 4 or 100 women could write this book.
We know nothing.
But that's, you know what? But that's the advice I like, is common sense advice from real people, you know, instead of reading a book written by a doctor.
Also, you got to admit this stuff's funny. I mean, the stuff that happens between men and women. You know,
it is funny.
One of my favorite pieces of advice in there is that, speaking to men, that farting is not a sign of your commitment.
Farting in bed.
Sorry, they're waving their arms around. They want me to pay for some groceries. We gotta take another couple minutes, go hit the fridge or something, come back. Fellas, are you kissing? Kitchen table. Her co-authors in our front row, Patty, Wolff, and we've just been talking about guys, because this is the boyfriend, it's the practical handbook for boyfriends. And we were just talking about, I was just telling Felicity that yesterday on our show we had this guide to, the guy's guide to girls, so this is sort of the flip side of it, and they were talking about kissing and what they liked and didn't like in women when it came to kissing. And in here, well, that's okay. In here, there's a big fat section on what not to do when you're trying to make out with a girl, guys. Do you want to tell them some of them?
Sure.
They got 6 categories of them in here, and they're hysterical, and they're really true. When I was reading them, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember him. I had 3 of that guy. It was so true, though. Tell them what some of the definitions are.
Okay, the first one is the Saint Bernard. No lips, all tongue, drool everywhere. Next one is dead man smooching. It's like getting mouth to mouth from someone who drowned last week. Limp flat and everything wimpy. Number 3 is the leaping lizard. Oh my God, I remember this guy so well. A long pointy tongue that slides everywhere as if it's looking for a fly. It's like you're getting a dental exam. All right. The guppy. It's like being kissed by one of those fish you watch cleaning the tank in your dentist's office. The grinder is saying great kissing is not achieved by grinding your teeth into hers. And the last one is the Frito-Lay, Starbucks, or Caesar salad kiss, right? Which is a bad lunch or snack choice. A bad lunch or snack choice can lead to toxic breath. I have a friend who met the woman he ended up marrying, and they were making out on the couch on the first date, and he went, did you have Caesar salad? And she went, yeah, but it was back at lunch. And he went, do you have any left over? And she went, yeah, it's in the icebox. So we went and ate it so he didn't taste her kisses anymore.
So we just wanted to do some fun cocktail party questions with you. So best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever received, I think, was from my sister. You know, I'm one of 7 girls, so I had a lot of mothers growing up, which was great.
You poor
and
dad,
she said,
outnumbered.
It seems obvious, okay, but she told me when I was about 25 or 22 or something, she said, don't go out with anybody who's not nice. Just don't. I was like, okay, that's good advice.
Very basic. Because you're always at these awards shows and everything, do you have an all-time best when it comes to movies?
What I love to watch?
Oh, yeah, what's your favorite movie?
Well, it was a long time ago, but it just killed me. The English Patient with Ralph Fiennes.
Beautiful.
I love that movie.
It did. It killed me too.
Yeah, just killed me.
Do you have any time to watch TV shows at all?
Not too much, no. What are you going to ask
Because
me
you're always
about?
off making them. I was going to say, what's your best TV show?
I am obsessed. Oh, listen to me. Now I get enthused.
Yeah, now you're gonna
get the book, blah, blah, blah. But my TV show, I am obsessed with Rome, and I am obsessed with The Sopranos. But
Me too.
Rome,
Rome
I'm
is
obsessed
great.
with it.
I know. I love it too.
What about you?
And it's well, anything on HBO.
Yeah.
Anything on HBO. And it's primarily because I can watch it any hour of the day, and I don't really get to watch TV until like 2 in the morning, really. We've had a blast hanging out with her, yes? And she came bearing gifts. Everybody gets one of the guys. And everybody gets a snack of the day from right here in New York. Pretzels by Jill. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Come back anytime. That was great fun. Let there be books and pretzels. Don't go changing, because what we're about to tell you about